Hello, everybody. This is Movie Yoga online with Via. Sorry, a blast from the past. And it is the last day of August, August 31st, 2020. Here's a picture I just put up, sort of a hello picture of a guy, an older guy with a dog, and he's sitting on the floor. I like that about it. He's not sitting on his couch, he's sitting on the floor in front of his couch. I am going to stop the share, and you can do that too, and I hope you do. Okay, now we're going to start the class in the usual way. I'm going to spotlight Kathy. And we're going to do pretty much the same class as yesterday because I want to get a recording of that class, and I wasn't able to yesterday. Just go ahead and spend a little bit of time noticing where you are and why you came. Feel the support of the floor in the back of your body. Notice your breath, but don't try to change it. If it changes, without your trying to change it, just notice that. It gets deeper, longer. Spend a few minutes imagining the place where the pituitary gland is, which is, what I'd like you to do is think of this optical nerves as going behind the eyeballs and crossing. They cross behind the eyeballs and then drop down a little bit. That's where your pituitary gland is. And just imagine where it is and have a little meditation, pituitary gland meditation. You can find this place. It's a very quiet place. Just behind the eyeball sockets, where the optical nerves cross each other. And a little bit below that. Finish up. Bring your hands behind your head, interlace your fingers or stack your hands. We're going to do the vagus nerve reset, using the optical nerves again, actually, to reset the vagus nerve. So with your hands behind you, keeping everything still except your eyeballs, shift your eyeballs to the right and wait for an involuntary, an automatic sigh, yawn, swallow, or gulp. Come back to center, shift your eyeballs to the left. Your eyes can be open or closed. Waiting for the involuntary swallow, sigh, yawn, or gulp. Come back to center and repeat that vagus nerve reset 2 more times. Right, left, right, left. And finish up. Keep your hands where they are. We're going to do some head ramping. And all this means is that you're going to press the back of the base of your skull, the occipital ridge, into your hands on the floor. Press, hold for a couple breaths, and then release. Your chin will drop because of the movement of the occipital ridge in the back of the skull. And do that about 4 more times. Breathing, noticing, thinking about what's happening on the inside at the base of your skull and in your cervical spine. Last one. And then just bring your hands beside your hands and arms beside your hips. We're going to do Viloma breathing. You can do any breath you like that you learned here or somewhere else. But this is the breath work section. Viloma breath divides the inhale into 3 parts. You inhale and fill up 1/3 of the lungs. Pause. Inhale again, fill up the second third. Pause, and then inhale again, fill up the last third of the lungs. Pause, and then exhale. Four more breaths. Last breath. Finish up, and then we're going to do a hypopressive. We're going to do the bridge hypopressive. So your toes are toward the ceiling, your heels are still on the floor, your knees are bent. You're going to do 3 breaths. I'm going to cue 3 ordinary breaths, and then hold your breath out, no breath, while you lift your hips and bring your arms overhead at the same time. And then I'll count to 10, and then you come back down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath, inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath out, lift your hips into a bridge and your arms overhead by your ears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inhale, hips come down and arms come down. Inhale, exhale. We'll do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Complete exhale. Hold your breath out. Lift your hips. Bring your arms overhead by your ears. 1, 2, 3. No breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And inhale and exhale. Come on back. Good. We're going to do the pelvic floor reset using a brick and later a strap. So knees bent and a brick between the knees, the narrow side of the brick between the knees. And then keep your feet as close to your hips as you can get them. And then side to side. Let's do about 9. Squeezing on your brick. Finishing up. And then change the width of the brick to the medium width. And squeezing on the brick again, and then 9 sets. And I've lost count, but I think one more. And the next thing is a strap around the thighs. And this time you're going to press out into the strap. So you're working on the outside muscle, the abductor, on the outside of the thighs. Cinch the strap or tie it. And then side to side, pressing out into the straps. It's a slightly different focus. Still releasing the pelvic floor and the hips, actually. This is both pelvic floor and a hip release. About 9 times. And then grab a set of therapy balls, a pair of therapy balls in a tote, and put them at your sacrum, which is below your waist, on the way to your tailbone, but not at your tailbone. It's a little higher than that. It's a triangle. You'll want to take your strap away. Sorry. Oh. Take your strap away. Yeah. I'm not going to keep you bound. Put this is horizontal, below the waist at the sacrum. And that looks good to me. And there you are. You can just stay here, feel the body weight, your body weight on the sacrum, on the ball that is on the sacrum. And then you can go slide up and down using your heels, just a little sliding up and sliding down, about 6 times. And then when you're finished, up and down, go side to side. Just a little side to side movement. You try not to move your hips. It's really, you're just moving the sacrum, if you can. It may require a little bit of hip motion. When you're finished there, move your balls, the balls, keep them horizontal, but move them down towards the tailbone, but not on the tailbone. We're aiming for the internal obturator, which is a hip flexor that's attached to the pelvis. Bring your knees up to tabletop, and then open and close. Open and close. Open and close. And about 3 more times. If your legs are shaking, this is a good thing. And then go ahead and finish up and get a strap. We're going to do straight leg stretches 1 and 2. Oh, let's do this first, though, before we do the leg stretch 1 and 2. Let's do the Ki-Hara straight leg resistance stretch. So bring your right leg up to the ceiling. Have your strap nearby, though. And put your hands, clasp your hands behind your thigh, your right thigh. And go back and forth. So remember, this is a resistance stretch. So when your hand is winning, your thigh is resisting the movement of the hand. When your thigh is winning, the hand is resisting the movement of the thigh. So always moving, always resisting. Try to keep your sits bones on the floor, so you're not tilting your pelvis. And do that about 3 more times. This is to release the hamstring before we do the leg stretches, actually. And Kathy's added a ankle stretch. That's okay.
It just feels good.
That's good. Improvisation. And then switch sides. Whenever you're finished with six or so, switch sides. Now, remember, this is a resistance, Ki-Hara resistance stretch. So the hands and the thigh are the resistance point. Back and forth you go. Always resisting, always moving. A couple more times. And then stop and circle your ankles. Why not? This is a good time to circle your ankles. And then now leg stretch 1. leg stretch 1, and then we'll do leg stretch 2 on the same side. Put a strap around your foot, right around the met heads, they're called, the metatarsal heads. That's where your strap should be. And you're going to pull your leg and foot towards you. Oh, I'm supposed to be timing. Hold on just a minute here. Well, we might not time on this one because I wasn't in gear, but let's call that 30 seconds. And then put both straps in one hand, in your right hand. Bring your leg out to the right. I want you to be aware of how far you can go without taking your left hip off the floor. This is not as far, you're not going to go to the floor. I was doing this morning before class, and I can't go as far as Kathy's going. Not if I keep my hips level on the floor. Oh, I forgot to time here too, just yapped away. I'll give you 15 more seconds here, time seconds, and you can come back. Go ahead and come on back. Other side, straight leg number 1. Keep your hips on the floor. You can bend your knee a little bit, or a lot actually. This is a hamstring stretch, but it's also builds bone in the hip socket. Just staying here and breathing. I've timed this one. And come on back and take both straps in your left hand and drop your left leg out to the left. Keep both hips on the floor. You might want to even take your right knee out to the right to help do that. It's like Kathy's doing. And I'm counting, I'm timing this. This is a bone building movement. It also opens the hips. Opens the hips, builds bone at the hip socket. Come on back. And come up to seated. Floor seated. Just like the guy in the picture. You don't have a dog though. I mean, someone may have a dog actually. If Leslie were here, she would have a dog right beside her. And we're going to do shoulder work with a strap. So find a comfortable seated position, preferably a symmetrical one. So not the S or Z shape. No, not that one. That's what not to do. I think just because while we're doing the straps. So just because you become lopsided. Hold on to your strap in your hands about shoulder distance apart in front of you on your knees. And then, so straighten your arms. We'll start with straight arms. Now bring your arms up, 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 by your head, by your ears. You're gonna, at the top, you're gonna need to open up a little bit. So the arms come out wider, the strap, more of the strap is between the hands, and then take your arms behind you as far as you can. Always, tension is, you always have tension on the strap. This provides you with some structure for your shoulder work. Take a few breaths while your arms are behind you, and then bring your arms up, overhead. You're gonna have to cinch in again while you're at above, your arms are above your ears, beside your ears. Cinch in a little more, because then you're gonna bring your strap in front of you again. And down, all the way down, sitting tall. Let's do it one more time. Sit tall first. Strap is fairly narrow, and then bring it up, arm by the ears. When you get to the top, spread your hands in your strap. Make more but still create some tension here, and then go on back behind you. Try to be even behind you, and go as far back as you can, your strap allows. Take a couple breaths back here. This is a nice chest opener. And then bring your arms back up over by your ears. Then you're going to have to cinch in, which is the hardest part, actually. And then bring your hands closer to each other. Oh, Kathy, than that. Yes, more like that. And then come forward. Pull on the strap, come forward all the way down to your knees. Again, sit tall. Come back up, arms by the ears. Make the strap wide. We're going to do side bend using the structure of the strap, the tension of the strap. So it's a little different side bend. Relax your shoulders, please. Don't shrug. No shrugging. And then just drop to the right. Keep your sits bones on the floor. You can move your head right, left if you want, or not. Come on back to center. Tension, remain, keeping your tension on your strap, move to the left, the other side. Keeping your hips on the sits bones, hips on the floor. Staying here and breathing. And then come on back. And we'll do the same thing again. Pull on your strap, drop to the right, drop your strap and your arm to the right. Side bending. Taking some breaths. And then come on back to center. Other side. Use your strap and tension on your strap to make this a slightly different side bend than you would be doing without a strap. Take some breaths here. Come on back. Keep your arms overhead, but take your right arm straight up. So bring it closer to your ear. And then drop your left arm behind you. So right arm straight up, left arm behind you. This is called shoulder flossing. Stay here for a couple breaths. Sit tall. Switch sides. The left arm is straight up by your ear. The right arm is behind you. Stay tall. Take some breaths. And then switch sides again. We'll do one more set. Right arm up by your ear, left arm behind you. Shoulder flossing. Switch sides. Take some breaths. And then unravel. Bring your arms up overhead and then bring them in front of you and let go of your strap. And come up to standing. Come up to standing. We're going to do a back bend at the wall. So let's start, instead of starting with back bend, let's start with a pendulum. So stand on your brick with put your a brick under your inside foot. And then just dangle the opposite leg, the loose leg. Forward and back, just introducing or allowing space in the hip socket. Let me go shut the door, well, so because someone's making a noise outside my apartment. Grinding noise. And now let's do a side bend here just for fun. So stay on the brick, just the way you were with the pendulum. Stay on the brick and cross your dangling leg ankle over in front. Yes, in front. And then bring your arm up and over onto the wall. Try to stay sideways to the wall. Your hand may or may not reach the wall. If it does reach the wall, press your palm into the wall to help your side bend. This is, I think Joe Miller calls this boomerang. It's a really nice side bend, and it is enhanced by your hand if you can get your hand to the wall. Just stay here and breathe. Another side bend. And then come on back. Switch sides. We'll do the pendulum on the other leg. So remember, what this is doing is creating a little more space and spaciousness in the hip socket for the head of your femur, just because of the space that's allowed with the brick. Just dangle. It's not, you're not really forcing this movement. You're just allowing a dangle pendulum, just moving back and forth because it can. And now go ahead and cross your ankle, the dangling ankle, over the standing ankle, or we're going to do a side bend. This just helps the side bend. Arm up and over, palm, so you actually rotate your wrist and put the palm on the wall, fingers down, and see if you can push away from the wall. If you haven't been able to reach the wall, push away from the wall to get a better side bend. Come on back. Let's do a spine twist at the wall. So the inside leg is forward. Why don't you start on the right side, Kathy? So flip over, flip around. Right leg is forward, left leg is back, and you're standing on those 2 points. And then bend your elbows and bring your arms and your torso around towards the wall. And I'm going to time this, and we're going to start now. See if you can keep your hips, your ASIS, your headlights forward while you rotate your spine at the waist, really. It's really at the last thoracic spine, thoracic vertebra. And just stay here and breathe. and unravel and switch to the other side slowly. This is a pretty intense stretch. It should feel good though. There you go, Cassie. Inside leg parallel to the floor. And now bend your elbows and bring your arms around to create a spine twist. If you can keep your hip bones looking forward, the headlights, your ASIS looking forward, and then, totally rotating the spine, the thoracic spine at the waist. And we're timing here, and we're going to do this set again because it's so good for us. Okay, switch sides. Repeat. Nice. Arms up. Rotate. Push. You let the arms help you take your shape. And I'm going to time. And breathe. So think about what's happening on the inside, what's happening at the T12 and L1 is, L1. That's where the major twisting can happen, is at that juncture between the lumbar spine and the thoracic. Okay, unravel carefully and come to the other side. When you're coming out of a twist, you don't want to do it too fast. So the inside foot, so Kathy, the inside foot is forward.
It didn't feel right. Okay.
That's good. That's good. When something doesn't feel right, and then you have to make a change, it's good. You have incorporated the pose. You have absorbed the pose. Well done. Come on out. Easy, does it. Back to the wall. We're going to do the back bend at the wall. This one, you also use your arms to create a back bend. The back bend is really a chest opener. So it should be, your arms go up, overhead, the chest. You press the hands into the wall and open the chest in front of you as much as you can. It'll get easier as you do more of these.
It does get easier.
And this is something maybe you can do during the week between classes. Just pressing in the hands to open your chest. And come back down. You can shake, shrug, wiggle your arms, whatever feels good to transition to get ready to do it again. You know what? Let's just for fun, get a ball. We're going to do a little bit of work, and then we'll come back. We'll do a little bit of scapular work. One therapy ball on the wall in the middle of your scapula. So start with the right scapula. Put the ball in the middle, or approximately. And then just start to roll as if you're tracing the edge of the scapula, which is a triangle, There's a flat side at the top, and then two sides, medial and lateral sides, and they come to a point at the bottom. Try to trace. You'll never actually do accurately, perfectly trace this, but think of tracing the scapula. If you find a place that really feels like it needs your attention, stay there. And then whenever you're ready, switch to the other side. So tracing the triangle that is your left scapula, your left shoulder blade. And when you're finished, get a brick and face the wall with a ball at the corner of the, just above the armpit pit, where the pec minor meets the arm bone. So we're going to do a little bit of chest opener, and then we're going to go back and do a back bend and see if you can notice a difference. So you have a brick in front of you. Can everybody see Kathy? And then the ball is at the corner of the arm bone. And just find, there's a little tender place there. So you ought to be able to find it. Most people, it's tender. And then go up and down. Just a little, bend your knees, go up and down. I'm going to do it seated, actually. You could do it seated if it's too much on the wall, or if you want to do it between classes while you're watching TV. Just a small up and down movement. By bending your knees. And then a side-to-side movement. It's very small. And then go ahead and place the ball, run the ball along the bottom of the scapula, below the scapula. So you're going to start, you can start either at the sacrum in the center, sacrum, not sacrum, sternum in the center, but just be sure that you're tracing the ball, you're pressing on the ball and tracing, moving it along the bottom of the clavicle.
Clavicle, not the scapula.
Well, I said scapula, I was on the wrong side of the body.
I wondered, you confused me. Okay.
Okay, I didn't mean to confuse you.
The clavicle.
So,
Okay.
a typo, a verbal typo. Okay, side to side, side to side, all the way. This is a longer movement, all the way. You can do it a couple times. It should feel really good. This is an area that doesn't get very much attention, love and attention. Therapy balls are always about love. And then switch to the other side. And this time we're going to start in the corner where the head of the arm bone, the head of the humerus meets the pec minor, or maybe the pec minor meets the head of the humerus. And then you're going to just bend and unbend your knees so that the ball moves up and down in that place. And then a little side to side, small side to side movement. Just little side to side. Pressing into the ball that is pressing into the brick that is pressing into the wall. And then go ahead and start to roll the ball across to the sternum, across the clavicle, below the clavicle, to the sternum and back to the armpit or the head of the arm bone. And now finish up and then set the ball and the brick aside and do another back bend at the wall and see if it makes a difference. There's no right or wrong answers. It's an exploration, a curiosity. Does it make a difference that you've opened up your chest and your upper back a little bit? The arms come up overhead. Oops, I'm going to time. Arms come up overhead, pressing into the wall. The chest opens up. And breathe. If anyone noticed a difference and you want to tell me about it, just put it in the chat.
I feel looser. I will just say.
Okay, good.
You feel looser.
Good news. Okay, find your way onto your belly, prone. Well, actually, let's start with quadruped. So hands and feet. And we're going to do a little bit of core and balance work with the bird dog. So starting hands and knees. We're just going to go right into it. There's a warm-up that we're not going to do because we're running out of time. So just go ahead and take your right leg behind you. Behind you and up, but actually come back down, Kathy. So run your toe along the floor first and then bring it up. Now bring the left arm up and stay here. For a few seconds. And then come on back down. Left leg extends and goes up. The right arm goes up. Stay here and breathe. You should feel some core work. You know this is balancing work also. You should feel the balancing work that happens. And then come on back down and come all the way down to the floor for the prone back extension. Lying on the floor, you may want to put a cushion under your pubic bone. Arms by your side, palms up. Take an inhale to prepare, and exhale to come up. And then we're gonna time this because this is a bone building exercise. And you're gonna stay here and breathe. If you want to, you can try to lift your chest up a little higher. You just have about 12 more seconds. Just stay here and breathe. And this is actually building muscle also along the spine and the upper back, which is different than, this builds bone, muscle, and bone density, which is one of the reasons I like it. Take an inhale to prepare to come down and an exhale to come on down. Now we're going to do this, but we're going to add on airplane with the arms out in a T. Take an inhale to prepare. Exhale, come on up. Inhale to prepare for airplane and exhale, arms out. Stay here. I'm going to time it. Just stay here if you can. You can come out of this if you need to. You could come out and just bring your arms by your side if that's easier. Just stay here and breathe and maybe lift your chest up a little higher. And you should feel some abdominal help. So this is core work too. And you have 5 more seconds. Take an inhale to prepare to return and an exhale. Go ahead and return. Bring your arms out into a T. Look right. Lift your right leg and bring it over your left. Keep your armpits, your arms and your shoulders on the floor. And then you can move your hips and your leg, top leg as much as you want. Come back. Other side, look left. Left leg up and over. Keep the armpits on the floor. Keep the shoulders on the floor. Keep the arms on the floor. And just stay here and breathe. This is an upper back mobility movement. Even though it looks like you're moving your hips. Come on back. And find your way onto your back, supine, for your Yoga Nidra meditation. Oh, there it is. I'm going to stop my video, and you may want to put a blanket over your body or a washcloth over your eyes. Just start to notice your breath, breathing in and breathing out, and observing the abdomen as it rises and it falls. Now bring your awareness to the center of your eyebrows, center of your throat, right shoulder, elbow, wrist, right thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, right wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, left shoulder, elbow, wrist, left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, left wrist, elbow, shoulder, center of your throat, spiritual heart center, right side of your chest, heart center, left side of your chest, heart center, navel center, center of your pelvis, right hip, knee, ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, right ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, left hip, knee, ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, left ankle, knee, hip, center of your pelvis, navel center, heart center, center of your throat, center of your eyebrows. This completes your 61-point guided Yoga Nidra meditation. Go ahead and extend your legs and start to wiggle. Your arms can come up by your ears. You can start to wiggle and stretch. And wrists and ankles, fingers and toes. And then bring your right knee to your chest and your left. Both knees to the chest. Rock from side to side. Rock from side to side and then come all the way over into a fetal position. Using your bottom arm as a pillow. And taking a couple breaths here. Then using your top hand to bring yourself up to seated without rounding your back. So that's the trick. Keep your back straight. Come on up. Find a floor seated position that you like. And unmute yourself first. I will cancel the spotlight. I will put my video on and I will change my viewing to gallery. Okay. Bring your hands to your heart. We did have a small class today, didn't we? So, hands to heart, press. Press a strong press. Release that. Leave your hands gentle, pressed together. Lift your skull, occipital ridge up, and rock the skull over the top of the first cervical vertebra. It rocks, it nods, it bows. We're bowing to each other, noticing, acknowledging, honoring the light in each of us, knowing that we all are one light. And then closing the class by saying to each other, Namaste.
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 Thank you, everybody.
All right.